The pressure alarms on Dr. Rena Blackwood's deep-sea pod screamed as she descended through Europa's icy ocean. Her research station, Nautilus Deep, had detected unusual biosignatures 3 kilometers beneath the moon's frozen surface. As the station's lead xenobiologist, she couldn't ignore what might be the first signs of complex life in our solar system. "Depth check, Nautilus," she called through her comlink, watching streams of bubbles rise past her viewport. 2,000 meters and dropping, Doctor, replied Dr. Thomas Reed, her surface coordinator. "Biosignatures are intensifying. Whatever's down there, it's big." Rena adjusted her pod's external lights, illuminating the dark alien waters. Crystalline structures jutted from the ocean floor like abstract sculptures, their surfaces reflecting her lights in hypnotic patterns. But it wasn't the crystals that had drawn her here. The biosignature grew stronger as she approached a deep ravine. Her instruments detected complex organic compounds, unlike anything in their database. "Tom, are you seeing these readings?" "Affirmative. They're off the charts." "Be careful, Rena." She guided her pod closer to the ravine's edge, heart pounding. The water grew darker despite her lights, as if something was absorbing the illumination. Then she saw it, a soft, pulsing bioluminescence emanating from the depths. "Contact," she whispered, more to herself than the comm. "I've got visual on some kind of." Her words died as a massive shape emerged from the darkness. It wasn't the simple microbial life they'd expected to find. The creature was at least 20 meters long, with translucent tissue that rippled with internal light. But what caught her attention was the smaller shape tangled in what appeared to be the creature's feeding tentacles. It was humanoid. "Tom, we've got a situation. There's someone down here. They're in trouble." "That's impossible. We're the only expedition on Europa." "Tell that to the alien I'm looking at." Rena was already moving her pod closer, medical training kicking in. "They're caught in some kind of predator. I'm going to attempt rescue." "Negative, Doctor. Protocol strictly forbids." She cut the comm. Protocol hadn't prepared them for this scenario. The humanoid figure was clearly struggling, its movements growing weaker. Without intervention, they would die, if they weren't dead already. Rena activated her pod's external manipulators. The mechanical arms extended, drawing the predator's attention. Its bioluminescence flared, patterns shifting rapidly across its surface. Warning signals, she realized. It was communicating. "I mean you no harm," she said aloud, though she knew the creature couldn't hear through the vacuum of water. "But I can't let you keep them." The manipulator arms reached for the tangled figure. The predator's tentacles tightened, but Rena had studied marine life on Earth. She recognized feeding behavior and how to disrupt it. A targeted sonic pulse from her pod's external speakers sent the creature recoiling, its grip loosening just enough. The mechanical arms caught the humanoid figure as it drifted free. Rena pulled them close, heart racing, as she got her first clear look through the pod's lights. The being was roughly human-sized, but their skin had a metallic sheen that shifted colors like oil on water. They wore what appeared to be a damaged environmental suit. And they were still moving. "Hold on," she muttered, maneuvering them toward her pod's emergency airlock. "Just hold on." The predator hadn't retreated far. It circled her pod, its bioluminescence now an angry crimson. Rena knew she had minutes at most before it attacked again. She activated the airlock's emergency cycle, watching anxiously as water drained from the chamber. When the inner door finally opened, she rushed to help the alien figure inside. Up close, their suit looked more like a second skin, torn in places to reveal iridescent flesh beneath. Clear fluid leaked from several wounds. "I'm a doctor," she said, knowing they probably couldn't understand. "I want to help." The alien's eyes opened, triple-lidded and filled with swirling colors. They spoke, their voice like harmonics played on crystal. Though the words were unintelligible, the tone was clear. Pain, fear, confusion. "Easy," Rena soothed, reaching for her medical scanner. "Let me." The alien's hand caught her wrist. Their skin was cool to the touch, almost metallic. Those strange eyes fixed on her face as more crystalline sounds emerged. This time, she caught what might have been pattern, structure. They were trying to communicate. The pod shuddered. Outside, the predator had begun ramming the hull. "Time to go," Rena said. She strapped the alien into a crash seat and rushed to the controls. The predator struck again as she fired the engines, sending them spinning. Warning lights flashed across her console. The hull had been breached. "Nautilus, this is Blackwood," she called, fighting to stabilize their ascent. "Emergency surface protocol. And Tom, get medical ready. You're not going to believe what I found." As they rose through the dark waters, Rena glanced at her unexpected passenger. The alien had lost consciousness, their color fading to a dull gray. She pushed the engines harder, knowing each second counted. She had no idea if human medical knowledge could help this being, but she had to try. Europa's ocean had just given up two extraordinary discoveries: intelligent alien life and the chance to be the first human doctor to save one, if she could get them to the surface in time. The emergency bay of Nautilus Deep erupted into chaos as Rena burst through the airlock, helping her alien patient onto a medical bed. Dr. Thomas Reed stood frozen, his dark skin ashen as he stared at their unexpected visitor. "This is impossible," he whispered. "The protocols can wait," Rena snapped, already attaching monitoring equipment. "They're dying, Tom. Help me or get out." The alien's iridescent skin had turned almost transparent, revealing complex internal structures unlike anything in human anatomy. Their wounds leaked a silvery fluid that seemed to evaporate on contact with the air. Every breath produced a crystalline whistling sound. "Their biology is completely foreign," Tom said, finally moving to help. "We don't even know if oxygen is safe for them." "Then we learn fast." Rena's scanner revealed catastrophic internal damage, but the readings made no sense. "Look at this. Their cellular structure is actively changing. It's like their body is trying to adapt." The alien's eyes snapped open, all three lids retracting to reveal swirling colors. Their hand shot out, grabbing Rena's arm with surprising strength. The crystalline sounds returned, more urgent now. "They're trying to communicate," Rena said. "We need." She broke off as a strange sensation spread from where the alien touched her. A tingling warmth that seemed to carry meaning. Images flooded her mind. A silver ship, a desperate escape, a hidden medical cargo that could change everything. "My name is Varric." The alien's thoughts somehow formed words in her mind. "I am a healer. My ship, pursued, must protect." "Say your strength," Rena replied, unsure if Varric could understand her. "We're trying to help." "No, you don't understand." Varric's grip tightened. "My body produces compound, healing, but hunters want weapon." Tom's monitoring equipment began screaming alerts. Heart rate dropping, or whatever they have instead of a heart. "We're losing them." "The cargo," Varric projected desperately. "In my ship. Need it." Rena made a split-second decision. "Tom, take over here. I'm going back down." "You can't. That predator is still there, yes, but Varric's ship might have what we need to save them." She was already heading for the airlock. "Keep them stable. I'll be fast." The descent felt agonizingly slow despite pushing her pod's engines to their limit. The predator was gone, but Rena's hands shook as she guided the pod deeper. Varric's life depended on her finding whatever medical supplies they'd been transporting. She almost missed the ship. It blended perfectly with the crystalline formations, its hull seemingly made of the same material. Only a faint energy signature gave it away. The airlock matched the one Varric's suit had connected to. Inside, the ship was a marvel of alien engineering. Surfaces rippled with the same iridescent quality as Varric's skin, and crystal formations grew like organic technology. But Rena had no time to admire it. She rushed through the corridors, following the strengthening sense of something, an instinct she couldn't explain. The medical bay stopped her in her tracks. Unlike the sterile environments she was used to, this one looked more like a garden. Crystal formations housed what appeared to be living tissue, pulsing with inner light. And in the center, a chamber filled with swirling silver liquid. The compound, she breathed. Something about it called to her, like a song just below hearing. This was what the hunters had been chasing, what had driven Varric to flee. She grabbed a container of the liquid and a handful of crystal vials containing various substances. As she turned to leave, a holographic display activated. Alien script swirled in the air, but somehow, she could almost read it. The same connection that had let Varric communicate was affecting her perception. These weren't just medical supplies. They were part of Varric themselves. Biological compounds their species produced naturally. Healing agents more advanced than anything humans had dreamed of. No wonder they were being hunted. The trip back to Nautilus was a blur. Rena's mind raced with implications, even as she focused on speed. When she burst back into the medical bay, Tom's face told her everything. 3 days after rescuing Varric, Rena found herself breaking every research protocol in existence. The quarantine lab had been transformed into a hybrid workspace, crystal formations from Varric's ship growing alongside standard medical equipment. The alien healer moved gracefully between them, their skin rippling with bioluminescent patterns that Rena was learning to read like emotional signatures. Your understanding grows quickly, Varric projected, examining a holographic display of human DNA. Most species cannot comprehend our biological processes, let alone adapt to them. Maybe that's why your hunters haven't caught you yet, Rena replied, studying how the alien's healing compound interacted with human tissue samples. They can't replicate what they don't understand. Tom entered, carrying new test results. Dark circles under his eyes betrayed sleepless nights spent monitoring their unauthorized experiments. Station control is getting suspicious. They're demanding updates on our equipment malfunction. Let me worry about control. Rena didn't look up from her microscope. These results are incredible. Varric's compound doesn't just heal damage, it improves cellular efficiency. It's like it teaches human biology to repair itself, which is exactly why this is dangerous. Tom set down his tablet with more force than necessary. We're talking about fundamental changes to human physiology. If this gets out. When Varric corrected, their colors shifting to deep purple. When this gets out, my pursuers will find me eventually. The question is whether we can establish a legitimate medical framework before they do. Rena straightened, feeling the now familiar tingle of stronger thoughts forming between them. Their mental connection had strengthened daily, allowing more complex communication. But it wasn't just information flowing between them. Emotions, memories, entire concepts transferred in intuitive bursts. Show them, Varric encouraged. Show them why we must continue. Rena nodded and pulled up the latest scans of her own cellular structure. This is what happened when I first made contact with Varric. My biology began adapting, developing new capabilities. I can sense things now, understand complex molecular interactions intuitively, and I'm healing faster. A cut yesterday closed in minutes. You're changing, Tom said quietly. You're not fully human anymore. I'm enhanced, evolved, and it's not just physical changes. She met his concerned gaze. I'm starting to understand Varric's medical knowledge. Do you realize what this could mean? Cures for genetic diseases, revolutionary trauma treatment, maybe even extended human lifespans, or biological weapons that could rewrite human DNA, which is exactly what those hunters want. Tom ran a hand over his face. Rena, I've covered for you because you're my friend. But this is bigger than us now. Precisely, Varric interjected, moving to a crystal formation that pulsed with inner light. Which is why we must work faster. My people have spent millennia developing our healing abilities. We thought ourselves unique until meeting humans. Their colors shifted to a contemplative blue. Your species' adaptability is extraordinary. You don't just accept change, you thrive on it. The crystal formation opened like a flower, revealing a chamber filled with swirling silver liquid. This is not just medicine, Varric continued. It is evolution in its purest form, a bridge between our species. Rena felt the truth of it resonating through their connection. You're not just hiding from hunters, you're looking for allies, partners who can help protect and share these abilities. My people are divided, Varric admitted. Many believe our gifts should remain secret, used only for our own preservation. Others, like myself, see the potential for something greater. A network of healing knowledge shared across species. A sudden alarm blared through the station. Tom rushed to check the security feeds. Deep space contact, he reported tensely. 3 ships just dropped out of FTL. Design matches nothing in our database. Varric's skin paled to nearly white. They found me. The hunters. Rena moved closer, instinctively protective. Worse, the preservers, radical purists from my own species. They believe sharing our abilities dilutes their power. Varric's thoughts carried images of destruction, entire research facilities reduced to ash. They will destroy this station and everyone aboard to maintain their secrets. Like hell they will. Rena's mind raced through options. Tom, how long until they reach us? 2 hours, maybe less. They're not responding to hails. Then we have 2 hours to prove them wrong. She turned to the crystal chamber. Varric, you said this is evolution in pure form. Can it be weaponized? You wish to fight. The modified healing chamber hummed with energy as Rena checked the final connections. Through the station's windows, 3 crystalline ships approached like predatory stars, their hulls reflecting Europa's icy surface. They had less than 30 minutes left. The compound is ready, Varric announced, their skin pulsing with nervous light patterns. But Rena, you must understand what you're risking. This level of cellular transformation. It's never been attempted with another species. Tell me what to expect, she said, already removing her lab coat. Around them, the transformed quarantine lab thrummed with hybrid technology, crystal formations intertwined with human medical equipment. Your entire biological structure will rebuild itself. The pain will be. Varric's colors darkened. Extreme. And there's no guarantee your consciousness will survive intact. Tom burst in, breathless. Medical pods are prepped, but station control is losing it. The preservers just sent their demands. They're claiming jurisdiction over this entire sector. They want us to surrender Varric and all research materials. Not happening. Rena began connecting monitoring leads to her body. Did you upload the research data to the secure network? Yes, but then if this works, humanity keeps access to the medical breakthroughs even if. She didn't finish the thought. How many security officers do we have? 20. Against 3 ships of advanced aliens. They'll be enough. They just need to buy us time. She turned to Varric. Help me into the chamber. The alien healer hesitated. The preservers will not stop. Even if this succeeds, they will see it as proof that our gifts are being corrupted. Then we'll have to show them something they've never seen before. Rena stepped into the crystal chamber, the silver liquid swirling around her legs. Evolution isn't about preservation. It's about adaptation. Through their mental link, she felt Varric's conflict and fear warring with hope. The aliens' memories flowed into her mind. Centuries of their people stagnating, clinging to genetic purity while refusing to explore their true potential. Your species learned so quickly, Varric projected. Perhaps too quickly. It took us millennia to develop these abilities naturally. And now you'll see what happens when humanity decides to take a shortcut. Rena managed a tight smile. Tom, if this goes wrong. It won't. He gripped her hand briefly. But I've got the kill switch ready, just in case. The station shuddered as the first warning shots from the preserver ships hit their shields. Alarms blared through every corridor. Time to move, Rena said. Varric, do it. The alien healer pressed their hands to the crystal chamber's controls. The silver liquid rose, enveloping Rena completely. Through the transparent walls, she saw Varric's skin blazing with complex patterns as they guided the transformation process. The pain hit like a supernova. Every cell in Rena's body seemed to ignite simultaneously. She would have screamed, but the liquid filled her lungs, replacing her need for air. Her consciousness expanded and fractured, rebuilding itself in patterns she couldn't comprehend. Through the agony, she felt Varric's mind anchoring her, keeping her from losing herself in the transformation. Images and sensations cascaded through their connection. The history of Varric's species, the development of their healing abilities, the schism that had driven them apart. But something was different. Where their people had taken generations to adapt, Rena's enhanced human DNA was changing in minutes. The pain began to shift, becoming something else. Power, understanding, evolution. Her eyes snapped open, seeing wavelengths of light she'd never perceived before. The silver liquid drained away as the chamber opened, leaving her changed body trembling with new awareness. Remarkable, Varric breathed, their thoughts now crystal clear in her mind. Your cellular structure has completely reconfigured. You're both, Rena finished, examining her transformed skin, now shimmering with subtle bioluminescence. Human biology enhanced with your species' capabilities. She flexed her hand, watching patterns of light flow beneath the surface. How long until the preservers breach our shields? Tom checked the security feeds. 10 minutes, maybe less. They're charging weapons. Perfect. Rena moved to the lab's communication console, her movements fluid and precise. Patch me through to their ships. Let's show them what they're really fighting against. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a being similar to Varric, but marked with angular patterns that spoke of authority and age. Their colors shifted to aggressive reds at the sight of her. What abomination is this? The preserver leader demanded. The future, Rena replied calmly. Your people have been so focused on preserving what you are, you've forgotten what you could become. Let me demonstrate. She raised her hand, concentrating. The hybrid technology throughout the lab responded instantly, crystal formations growing and reshaping themselves according to her will. On the screen, the preserver's colors paled with shock. Impossible, they whispered. No other species can control your biotechnology, your healing gifts. Look closer. Rena let her skin ripple with complex patterns, speaking in the light language of their kind. Humanity doesn't just adapt to change. We embrace it, transform it, improve it. Through the station's sensors, she could feel the preserver ship's weapons powering down as uncertainty spread through their crews. The leader's colors shifted to troubled violets. You would steal our very essence, they accused. Corrupt what took us ons to perfect. No, Varric interjected, moving to stand beside Rena. We would share it, evolve together. Your way leads to stagnation. Look at what was accomplished here in mere days. Imagine what we could achieve in partnership. The station trembled again, but this time from the crystal formation spreading through its corridors, strengthening its structure. Rena felt each growth like an extension of herself, her transformed biology working in harmony with both human and alien technology. You have a choice, she told the preserver leader. Continue fighting to preserve the past, or help us build a future neither of our species could achieve alone. But know this, humanity will not be stopped. We will find this knowledge with or without you. The only question is whether you'll be our teachers or our adversaries. The leader's colors swirled with complex emotions as they studied her. In their expression, Rena saw the weight of centuries of tradition, warring with undeniable proof of possibility. The silence stretched between species as the preserver leader's colors shifted through shades of thought. Behind them, the crystalline ships hung suspended in Europa's eternal twilight, weapons still primed but inactive. In the station's transformed lab, Rena felt every second through her enhanced senses, each moment pregnant with possibility. "You demonstrate great power," the preserver leader finally said, their patterns showing reluctant respect. "But power without wisdom brings destruction. How can we trust humans to use these gifts responsibly when you seize them so readily?" Rena smiled, letting her newly acquired bioluminescence answer in their own light language. "The same way your ancestors trusted themselves when they first developed these abilities, with hope, determination, and the understanding that evolution cannot be contained." She gestured, and the hybrid technology throughout the lab responded. Crystal displays sprang to life, showing the medical breakthroughs they'd already achieved. "Look at what we've discovered. Not stolen, not corrupted, but advanced. Your healing abilities combined with human adaptability have created something entirely new." Through their deepened mental connection, Varric added their own insight. "Our people have maintained genetic purity for so long, we've forgotten that our gifts first arose through change, through mutation and adaptation. And now you would have us abandon millennia of tradition." The leader's colors darkened. "Allow our sacred abilities to be modified by lesser beings." "Lesser?" Tom stepped forward, tablet in hand. "These scans show that Dr. Blackwood's transformation has enhanced your biological capabilities. Her human DNA didn't just accept your traits. It improved them, made them more efficient, more adaptable." The leader's patterns showed surprise as they examined the data. "This is unprecedented." "Because you never looked for precedent," Rena said softly. "You were so focused on preserving what you had, you never imagined something better was possible." She felt it then, a subtle shift in the energy patterns of the preserver ships. Their crews were resonating with her words, their own colors showing the first hints of curiosity and wonder. Even their leader's rigid patterns began to flow more naturally. "There will be resistance," they warned. "Many among our people will see this as sacrilege." "There's always resistance to change," Rena acknowledged. "But look at your own history. Your species developed these abilities through natural evolution. We're simply accelerating the process and offering to share what we learn along the way." The lab's crystal formations pulsed with her words, creating a symphony of light and energy that spoke to something deep in the preserver's biological memory. Their ship's crystalline structures resonated in response, bleeding colors of possibility. Perhaps the leader's patterns shifted to contemplative blues. "Perhaps it is we who have forgotten our true nature. Evolution is not about preservation, but transformation." "Then help us transform responsibly," Rena proposed. "Be our teachers, our partners. Let this discovery mark the beginning of something greater than either of our species could achieve alone." She held out her hand, letting her hybrid biology shine with both human determination and alien wisdom. After a long moment, the leader's image nodded, their colors brightening with cautious hope. "We will need protocols," they said. "Guidelines for sharing these abilities, and guarantees that this power will be used for healing, not destruction." "Already prepared," Tom reported, sending files to their ships. Dr. Blackwood insisted on establishing ethical frameworks before even attempting the transformation. "It's what we do with any powerful new medical treatment." The tension in the station slowly ebbed as the preserver ships powered down their weapons. Through the following hours, representatives from both species began the delicate work of building trust. But Rena's attention was drawn to something else, a new sensation growing through her enhanced awareness. "You feel it too," Varric asked, their colors showing understanding. "There's something here in Europa's ocean," she confirmed. "The predator that attacked you. It's not just an animal, is it?" "No, these waters hold their own evolutionary secrets. Perhaps that is why I was drawn here, why we were meant to meet." Rena watched the play of light through the crystal formations, seeing patterns within patterns. Life finds a way to evolve, with or without our help. All we can do is choose whether to fear it or embrace it. "And which do you choose?" Varric's question carried layers of meaning. She smiled, letting her transformed biology resonate with the potential swimming in Europa's alien sea. "I choose to explore, to discover, to become." The station hung suspended between worlds, ice above, mysterious ocean below, star-filled space beyond. Inside, humans and aliens began working together, sharing knowledge that would transform both their species. And deep beneath Europa's frozen surface, ancient life continued its own patient evolution, waiting for the day when they would all be ready to take the next great leap together. Rena felt it all through her enhanced senses, the pulse of possibility, the rhythm of change, the eternal dance of life becoming more than it was. She had taken humanity's first step into a larger universe of biological potential. Now it was time to help others follow, not through force or fear, but through the simple, powerful act of choosing to evolve together. Outside her viewport, the stars seemed to shine with new meaning, beckoning with endless possibilities. The next chapter in both species' evolution had begun, written not in the language of preservation, but in the eternal story of transformation, adaptation, and hope.